Chapter 46. The Difference. Quinn's guess about Momo was nearly spot on. Momo could see 2 seconds ahead into the future, although it wasn't as clear as others might think. His ability was activated through his eyes. When he turned on his ability, a new type of vision would appear. Everywhere Momo looked, there was an outline of what a person or object was going to do next. When Momo's back was turned and the black ball had come towards him, he could slightly feel the outline of the ball touching him, allowing him to move his head just in time. Just 2 seconds before Quinn has even begun moving towards Momo, his outline had already shown where and what Quinn was planning to do. It was a strong ability that took years for Momo to get a hang of at first. Just because one could see the future didn't help out in any other aspects. Momo's strength, speed and reaction time all had to be trained with his ability. Even though Momo's ability was a rare one that was available on the marketplace, not many people opted for it for these reasons. But Quinn wasn't the only one who had figured out Momo's ability. Raiden had as well. "Who cares if you know what I'm going to do?" Raiden shouted. "All I need to do is do something you can't block." Raiden then started running towards him. Momo swung his whip, while Raiden held out his hand, slowing the whip down with his telekinesis ability. The whip slowed down enough, allowing him to jump over the strike. Then with his other hand, something started to form. It looked like water was starting to surround his hand. With another swing, a water blade followed. Momo quickly moved to the side, avoiding one strike, but what quickly followed was a barrage of water strikes. Then at the same time from behind, another 2 black balls had been lifted and were coming right at him. Momo could see the black balls coming at him and he knew he could do nothing but take a hit. He opted to avoid the water strikes, the more powerful of the attacks, and moved so the balls would hit his back. After being hit with the black balls, Momo moved away from Vorden, creating distance between the two. "I have to admit, I didn't expect you to be able to use 2 abilities. You didn't do something like this last time. It looks like you were hiding a trump card after all," Momo said, "but you weren't the only one holding back last time." While in his right hand he held a whip, something started to form in his left hand. At first, it looked just like a bunch of light particles forming something, but then eventually another whip appeared. Only this felt and looked different, as if it was alive almost. Just from holding it alone, the whip would continuously move like a snake. "Let me show you the difference between the second years and first years," Momo said. Even though Eren was currently busy fighting the other second-year students, she couldn't help but sense the power in the room. "So he has one, after all, a soul weapon." While the distance between Momo and the others were far away, Layla had managed to make a break and get away from the other second-year students. Honestly, Eren was doing fine dealing with them on her own, and she wasn't much help in the first place. She quickly went to Quinn's side and could see he was badly injured. It wasn't so much that he couldn't move, but enough to say he was out of the fight for now at least. "Do you need some blood?" Layla whispered. "No, I'm fine. I'm not in any danger, don't worry about that. I just don't want to reveal anything in front of all these people." "I understand," Layla said as she then looked at Vorden. "Your friend, I hate to admit it, but he's strong." "Yeah." After looking at Vorden now and seeing how he fought so skillfully, as if he had done it 100 times before and he was even using 2 abilities effortlessly, Quinn quickly realized there wasn't much he knew about Vorden and that he probably had his very own secrets that he was hiding from everyone similar to himself. But again, instead of escaping when he was freed and running away, he had decided to come help. Although Quinn wasn't strong enough to help now, in the future he would repay back this kindness. Now with Momo's soul weapon, the confidence in him grew. He swung his soul whip and it started to move at lightning speed. In response, Raiden created a wall of water with one hand and started to slow down the whip with the other, but the telekinesis ability was useless and didn't seem to do anything to slow the whip down. Then when the whip had reached the wall of water, it suddenly grew in length and had wrapped around Raiden's arm. Momo pulled forward, dragging Raiden to the ground, and then swung out his other whip, lashing against his back. Raiden tried rolling to avoid the lashes, but it seemed like the whip was following him, predicting where he would roll to next. Raiden had been lashed several times and now his back was covered in blood. Then with Raiden's other hand, he formed a small water blade. He knew that the whip would be too strong to cut, so instead he went for his own hand, complexly cutting it off from his own body. The whip was no longer attached to his body, and at the same time so was his hand. Although unlike one would expect for blood to be drawn everywhere, Raiden was using an absurd amount of energy, concentrating to stop his blood from spewing out from the wound with the telekinesis ability. And he honestly didn't know how much longer he could keep it up. "Damn you!" Raiden shouted, "if only this body wasn't so hurt from before. Now you have gone and done it, you think a soul weapon is strong enough to defeat us? Well, think again. Little one, it's your turn. It's time to give this man hell." Just then, though, the doors to the assembly hall were swung wide open and in came a tall silver-haired female, and standing behind her was Peter. "I command everyone to halt this instant," she said. "If anyone does not obey this command, prepare to be punished."